travel around Little Rock, about an inch of snow yesterday. Roads are still snow covered, and travel moving a little slow here this morning, as it should.
And over Bernie's left shoulder, where Tyler always says, "Oh, I'm Bernie, I wish you saw his face," and you said that you're Mr. Optimistic.
Mr. Optimistic, that's what they call me, yeah.
Yeah, Tyler, I think. Oh, it's so funny. All right, let's take you here across Oklahoma and Texas and look back at the last 24 hours with our reports here with sleet and freezing rain. You can see these here on the map there with parts of eastern Oklahoma, western Arkansas, parts of North Texas. That's all the freezing rain. And the heaviest snow into Missouri.
Damn, son.
11 inches of snow. From Wichita to Oklahoma City to Little Rock, still snow on the ground, and that's likely not going to go anywhere because of how cold. Now, the only reason it may go somewhere is because of the wind blowing that really powdery light snow around. Incredibly cold. Now, this is the temperature change, because yesterday when we had these kind of numbers in the north central, we were like, no, these are the actual temperatures. And this is not the actual temperature, but if you're in Dallas and Austin, you're like, it might as well be 33 degrees for those here because it is so cold in this part of the country.
I'm finna take that laser off.
3 degrees in Oklahoma City and 38 degrees in Houston. You can see cloudy, windy, snowy views there in Oklahoma.
Blue, that red team good.
The wind's gusty out there, blowing the snow around. And we're setting records for how cold it is today. So you're looking at the coldest high temperatures on this February 19th. For Wichita, the coldest is 20 degrees in 1889. I don't know what's more impressive, the time of that or the chill. We're only going with a high of 7 today. So you can just see that this is the coldest air people have felt in this part of the country. For tonight, Tulsa drops down to 0. The record for tonight is 9 back in 1918. So the impressive cold and record cold continues. Through the day on Thursday, we stay dry, gorgeous shot there. And Norman, Oklahoma, as the snow is coming on down. Very cold air lingers through the day on Thursday, where temperatures are well below the historical average. Historical average here on the box on the right, which is normally 50s and 60s for this time of year. 20s, 30s, and 40s is all we get to through our Thursday. We're staying dry again on Friday. The coldest air shifts a little bit further to the east, so we'll start to see temperatures come back up, at least in the second half of the weekend. Although Saturday's not terrible, it's just cloudier in Houston and still chilly. Sunday we'll see improvement. AccuWeather has been proven to be the most accurate source of weather forecasts and warnings. We've saved thousands of lives and prevented tens of billions of dollars in damage. Better protect your family and keep them safer. Download the AccuWeather app today.
What the f? I ain't having no good. Man, that's
Plenty of bad. In fact, even the good,
shit.
there's not many good. Because
You have to
there's so
go.
much cold,
Like
right?
Southern California, Arizona, or even parts of Florida are not as great anymore because it's going to be raining there
Yeah,
today.
you have a front coming
Where'd you
on
go?
south. I went to the West Coast too, and I went to LA,
Okay. Yeah.
where it's, I mean, there it is. This is why people live in Los Angeles.
Mhm.
Now, there's plenty of bad weather sometimes.
Sure.
You know, when it's bad in
Mhm.
Southern California, it's very bad. When
Yeah.
it's good, it is pristine.
Yeah.
Beautiful day today,
Mhm.
70 degrees here.
Ooh.
Low 70s. Watch the wind through the canyons and passes tomorrow, but we start things off in the lower 50s, end at 71 in AccuWeather real field temperature. In at 73 degrees today. It's a beautiful day.
All right. I went to Sedona
Yes.
because this is the time of year I'm like, what's the flight be to Sedona? 65 degrees for today. Not too warm, not too cool. Sunshine and clouds for today. We'll look at the real field temperatures. Cooler, but it does here in the morning and the
Yep.
60s by the afternoon. And it really stays consistent for Thursday and Friday.
All right, worse weather. This is a big
Oh,
snowstorm.
I didn't even know we had it in the system.
Yes, I mean, it's a total of 6 to 10 inches.
Oh my
of snow.
God. Hey,
It keeps
that is not funny.
Actually, the real field temperatures in Virginia Beach.
I had them up for you.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't. That was okay. Anyway, look at that. They fall into the single digits.
They do.
Gusty winds.
I should've
And those
just-
winds are always gusty when they're coming out of the north because they funnel into the bay there.
Yeah, when the cold lingers here. I should have just
You don't
let
have
you do it
much
yourself.
time. You
I don't
better
know.
hurry.
Yeah, Greenville.
Hurry.
This is where the ice
Yeah.
accumulation is going to be very dangerous for travel and power outages. Okay. To the control room, Tony.
Tony.
Tony, the ice. Tony, the ice.
Yeah,
The
look
ice,
at that,
Tony.
Tony.
Sedona?
More precious than the time we have is how we spend it. Whether laughing around the dinner table or giggling in the drive-thru, no matter how you arrive, coming home is about experiencing connection. And no one understands this better than loved ones wrestling with a cancer diagnosis. That is why Merck is working to provide education on breast health management for those most at risk, and created a digital guide for you to learn more about your breast health and receive resources you can use from home. When communities prioritize care, healthcare providers, local organizations, and health advocates can work together to support patients and families. Health equity happens when every person, regardless of age and ethnicity, in every community, has fair access to the care they need to achieve their highest level of health. For more information, please visit nearyourbreasthealthguide.com.
Now, the forecast from around the country. When we look at albedo, it's actually a scientific measurement of how reflective a surface is, and that ties into weather pretty significantly. So when we think about different surfaces, asphalt doesn't reflect much radiation, actually absorbs a lot of it, so it has a really low albedo on a scale of 0 to 1. Whereas when you get to grass, it's a little bit higher. Desert sand would be even higher than that, and fresh snow comes in at a 0.8. So this is kind of the range that we can measure how much radiation is being absorbed. And when you think about spring grass, no snow cover out there, a lot of that solar radiation comes in, very little of it gets bounced back into the sky, and it's why the grass can warm up fairly quickly, or any dark soil or ground can warm up when there's not snow present. But once we put the snow on the ground, it's a lot different. A lot of that solar radiation comes in, gets reflected back out into the sky and ultimately into space, and therefore stays in October.
Really starting to get windy now. It's coming down really good. Good morning, and thanks for joining us here on AccuWeather Early. And Bernie Rayno.
I'm Ariella Felice. Wednesday, February 19th. It's like same old with the cold and the snow.
Yeah, as we continue to track it. It's a miserable morning across parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. Boy, we had all the flooding in Kentucky over the weekend. Overnight, what looks to be everything I've seen, about 2 to 3 inches of snow. Still snowing in the coal fields of eastern Kentucky, but we're drying things out the northeast. Meanwhile, just a wet morning in the Florida Panhandle.
It is. We're watching a little bit like snow. I mean, this is day 3 where we've had snow right in the middle of the map here, Nebraska and Kansas. And then now precipitation moving into the northwest.
Yeah, all the way into northern California. By the way, no rain in southern California with this, but it will produce a very weak wind event tomorrow, Santa Ana in Southern California. I don't think we're looking at many power outages, and the fire danger remains very, very low. So that's good news there.
Temperatures remain really, really low. A high of 2 degrees today in Billings, 7 in Wichita, only 30 in Dallas. These temperatures cold enough to be the coldest that people living there have ever felt.
Yeah. All right, a top story this morning: the winter storm that's heading along the East Coast. Heaviest snow will be in southeastern Virginia. Some snow also in Maryland and North Carolina. Icy conditions in eastern North Carolina, south and east of Raleigh toward Wilmington, will create dangerous travel and the potential for power outages.
Meanwhile, soaking rain and gusty thunderstorms will move from west to east on Wednesday, with ice expected in northern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. After the storm, expect windy, frigid conditions as Arctic air pushes through most of the U.S.
All right, we're going to take you outside now to Richmond, where the snow will be arriving this afternoon. Now, a little bit of snow right now. You can see a little white off to the side here. Roads a little wet. There's the snowflakes. I think the snow is going to be relatively light this morning. It will be picking up in intensity, though, as we move into the afternoon hours here. All right, I want to show you the setup with the water vapor loop here. Here's what's going on. There's our picture of the jet stream, and there's our storm. Now,
Let's go.
if you just look at the water vapor loop here, you would say we have a storm that's going to come right up the coast and produce heavy snow from Washington, D.C., all the way up toward Boston and New England. But you see how this jet stream is oriented here? I tried to play this game before. This is what I call a negative tilt. I'm going to see if I can do this. I can only see how I'm tilted this way. That's a negative tilt. All right. Neutral tilts like this, right? And a positive tilt like this, that hurts my back too. But why do I care about that? Because when you have a neutral or a negative tilt to the jet stream, you have a southerly steering flow. And that's what would guide this system up the coast. But it's the opposite. It's positively tilted. It's tilted like this from southwest to northeast. When you get that tilt, what's the steering flow? Out of the west-southwest. So that's why this storm is going to go out to sea. Now, We're going to have to deal with this dip in the jet stream. As you can see, there's little bands of moisture associated with some snow showers. We'll deal with that across the Midwest tonight and then into the Northeast tomorrow. But the important thing is this storm's not coming up the coast, it's going out to sea. But it's going to be close enough to eastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia for some heavy precipitation and some major problems today. We've been tracking the snow across Kentucky. I've seen anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow, around an inch in Nashville, Knoxville, an inch of snow still coming on down as we speak, and the snow now starting to get toward the Richmond area. You'll notice how that snow is avoiding Washington, D.C. like the plague. Why? There's so much dry air right now that the snow, it's snowing a lot, but it's just not reaching the ground. That'll be a problem with the snow will be a problem like that in Washington, D.C. all morning, but I do think there can be a period of snow as we go through the afternoon hours here that can coat things, make things a little slippery. Future radar right up toward Washington, D.C. again. I can see a little bit of snow here this afternoon and tonight, up to an inch. Could just be a coating. Do be careful. You start heading down I-95, you start running into 1 to 3 inches, let's say toward Fredericksburg, and then Richmond, several inches of snow. Heaviest snow is going to be down across Virginia Beach. There it is. And watch how it starts to angle to the northeast a little bit here. So what's happening is our upper low comes south, right? And you start changing the wind flow more south-southwest. So the snow tries to get up in the word Wildwood, in the word Atlantic City, in the southern parts of Delaware, Maryland. Eventually that dry air just eats away at it. And then it pushes to the northeast. Here comes the upper low. There's some more snow in Indianapolis, Columbus, toward Pittsburgh. And I'll tell you what's going to try to get into Washington, D.C. as we head toward tomorrow morning. You see a lot of snow now, but there could be bursts of snow with this. Never trust an upper level low. So we're going to watch this tomorrow morning from Pittsburgh toward Washington, D.C. Look at the storm trying to get the snow back up toward eastern Long Island and toward the Cape and the Islands. And there's some snow showers. Watch some snow showers also around New York City tomorrow afternoon. Heavy snow down across South Virginia. There we go. Toward Salisbury, Maryland, 3 to 6 inches. 3 to 6 inches across southern Delaware. Want to show you the accumulations here. Around an inch in Knoxville, 2 to 4 inches in Greensboro, Raleigh, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, 6 to 10 inches, 4 to 8 inches in Richmond. And watch that ice. Southeastern North Carolina this afternoon tonight. That's going to cause a major problem, Mariella.
It will. And rain caused major problems in New Orleans, at least with that flash flood morning this morning. Almost 3 inches of rain in just 24 hours, and that actually came in a shorter time span here, mostly late last night and early this morning. Heavy rain, you can follow that all across southern Mississippi, Alabama, into the Florida Panhandle, and now Jacksonville closing in on at least 1/4 of an inch of rain. For some of us, this is beneficial. It's been drier through the last couple of weeks. For others, we've already seen a lot of rain, like Jackson and Montgomery, even Atlanta, above the historical average amount of rainfall. Atlanta's been drier through the morning, but it looks like we're finally starting to see some lighter rain showers moving on through. The green represents kind of a slighter, steadier precipitation, and we start to get to yellow oranges, and that's where the rain's coming down at a faster rate. Speaking of coming down, temperatures are coming down. Let's get the blue to really represent the cold. You can see pretty much a due, that's not a great arrow, pretty much a due north wind here into Texas, into Louisiana, into Arkansas, and even into Mississippi. So a cold day ahead here. And rainy too. It's still over Panama City off the distant map, a little bit more of Dothan. Valdosta also seeing the rain for this morning. Columbus.
That boy shooting something serious.
I saw some snow earlier this morning. Actually, I wanted to look at some of those reports here. New reports coming out around the Huntsville area there. Let's see, 2 inches of snow there across parts of northern Alabama. Another report of a 1/2 inch of snow and about an inch or so into northern Mississippi. So pretty decent for the southeast here with some of the snow. Of course, the heavier amounts, as Bernie was highlighting, in Tennessee, Kentucky, and North Carolina. Wet for us today. Let's follow future radar here as things stay soggy in Georgia and South Carolina. Some steadier precipitation in North Florida. That eventually makes it into Central Florida. Let's watch for some gustier winds. Tampa, Orlando, with the rain as we head into the afternoon, and then things fizzle out a little bit more through tonight. It's a cold, cold night. 13 in Nashville, 26 in Atlanta, 31 and breezy in New Orleans, and cold temperatures on the way for Thursday. Cold enough that we'll likely be setting some record cold high temperatures with highs only in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Let's take you live to Oklahoma City. Speaking of cold, it's time for the Big Three, where we look at the other big weather stories that we're following for you today. Good news is at least we have some sun. It's a little ineffective right now. It's 2 degrees, and our number one story it was in the Big Three is the cold in Texas. Boy, compared to the historical averages, I mean, we're anywhere from 20 to 35 degrees below that.
Yeah, it's pretty awful for the day today, and it doesn't get much better today on Thursday as that Arctic air mass sticks around. By the weekend, though, we'll start to see a little bit of improvement.
Yeah, 50 in Dallas, 53 in Oklahoma City. May wait till Sunday in Corpus Christi and then Houston.
Big story number two. Brutal cold does linger, although these temperatures you'll see in the north central are technically higher than yesterday. We're still in the single digits.
Yeah, single digits no matter where you look.
Hey, he behind that damn. Hey, check him out over there.
High pressure builds in tomorrow.
Oh, look at the snow there in Michigan right now. This is live outside.
I believe it is. Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, and students running in the snow. Be careful out there. We don't want anyone to get hurt.
No, we don't.
That's fun.
Cold lingers into the weekend, although there will be moderation here as well.
Big story number three. We take you to the west coast, Washington, Oregon, Northern California, all set to get some rain and then snow across the Cascades.
Now, as that storm comes south and east, there'll be some gusty winds in Southern California tomorrow. Not a huge deal, and the fire danger remains relatively low. That's certainly good news.
Well, Seattle get used to the rain because the stormy pattern continues through Monday. Well, let's travel.
Nothing yet, no delays yet, but there's going to be some delays here across the southeastern U.S. You know, a little bit of rain in Atlanta. It doesn't take much to get a few minor delays. Also watch Charlotte. Raleigh, there'll be major delays this afternoon. Just minor in Charlotte, as the heaviest is off to the north. And showers can impact Orlando with some minor delays this afternoon. In the northeast.
Good shot. Good look. Hell yeah.
Keep in mind, if you're flying out of these airports, de-icing will slow your departure.
Bernie knows that
Oh,
firsthand.
yeah.
For expert insight and superior accuracy, you can download the free AccuWeather app to follow us at AccuWeather.com.
My mental health was better, but uncontrollable movements called TD, tardive dyskinesia, started disrupting my day.
TD felt embarrassing. I felt like disconnecting. I asked my doctor about treating my TD and learned about Ingrezza.
Ingrezza is clinically proven to treat TD, quickly reducing TD by greater than 5 times in 2 weeks. #1 prescribed Ingrezza has dosing that's always 1 pill once daily, and you can keep taking most mental health meds. Ingrezza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden behavior or mood changes, or suicidal thoughts. Don't take Ingrezza if allergic. Serious side effects may include allergic reactions like sudden, potentially fatal swelling and hives, sleepiness, the most common side effect, and heart-rhythm problems. Know how Ingrezza affects you before operating a car or dangerous machinery. Report fever, stiff muscles, or problems thinking, as these might be life-threatening. Shaking, stiffness, drooling, and trouble with moving or balance may occur.
Take control by asking your doctor about Ingrezza.
Now, the forecast from around the country.